Hi, I'm Scott Humphrey with the World Floor Covering Association, and this is Leadership Live. And this week on The Lead Story, we continue with the subject matter of change. I fear sometimes that I've painted the picture that change is easy, but it's not always. And some of the reason for that has nothing to do with us, except what we have chosen to believe. Yes, what's going on in our mind. I'll get back to that. But first, before I do, let me thank those of you who have given me feedback on this weekly podcast and how you use them in your personal and professional life. That's the whole goal behind this and why I spend so many hours doing it. I really want you to live at your best, to fulfill your purpose. And for those of you who take these and share them on LinkedIn and Facebook, thank you. That allows me to reach more people with these messages, and I really appreciate that. So sometimes the concept of change is difficult because of what we have chosen to believe. Harry Houdini, you probably all know, is one of the greatest magicians of all times. In fact, sometimes he billed himself as the greatest jailbreaker in history. That's right, because he had the ability to go into any city and he would have them lock him up. They would leave, and then within minutes, he would be out of the jail cell. No jail cell could hold him. In fact, kind of funny, but sometimes Harry Houdini would not only get himself out, but he would then unlock the jail cells of all the other prisoners and switch them around and put them in different cells. One time in 1906, in an area called the Boston Tombs, not only did he get out and also relocate all of the prisoners, but he then left in a waiting car and got to the stage to where he would be performing and sent a message back to the warden letting him know that he was no longer in the jail cell. I mean, he was amazing. Whether it was a straitjacket, handcuffs, underwater in a box, it didn't matter. Houdini was able to get out of everything, almost. Because a small city in Scotland had built a new cell, and they challenged Houdini when he was there to break out of their cell. And so he went in, and this is told in many books, but he went in, and after everybody had left, he took out a small piece of metal that he had in his belt, and he went to work on the lock. And he worked, and he worked, and he worked. In fact, he worked for over 2 hours, and finally, he was just exasperated. And he said, I can't do it. And he called them back in. He said, okay, this is amazing. He said, no cell has ever been able to lock me in. He said, I simply work and work until I hear the click, and then I know that I am free. But you have beat me. You have mastered the master. How did you do it? It was at that moment that they revealed to Harry Houdini that the cell door had never been locked. It was only locked in his mind. I would wager to say that at some point in your life, somebody has told you that you weren't good enough or that you couldn't do something, and you might have believed that. Maybe they told you that you're not good at math, you're not good at science, or you can't lead. That does not make that true. But if you live as if it's true, it becomes a reality in your life. I want to challenge you to look inside your life and determine what are the things that are holding you back. What are the statements somebody has given you, whether it's a coach, a teacher, or a parent, when they told you that you weren't good enough or that you couldn't do something that you have chosen to believe. Because there's a very good chance that the only place the cell is locked is in your mind. Harry Houdini was amazing. He could break out of anything except a cell that was not locked. That's his story. What's your story? I want to challenge you to go out there and live the story that you want other people to tell.